Oh, sorry. I was busy. Anyway, let's go talk about something silly. Artificial intelligence. It's up for debate whether this AI stuff is a quality of life improvement or a dreaded curse. But if there's one thing for certain, it'll soon start to be integrated in our everyday lives, even replacing things such as art. But what if I were to tell you that somebody tried to warn us that this AI stuff was coming this entire time? That is, if you never heard of Terminator. Enter Technosoft. Wait a minute, that's the wrong look. Hold on for a second. Alright, there you go. Technosoft! From the futuristic year of 1997, they bring us Thunder Force 5! Released on the most technologically advanced system, the Sega Saturn! In other words, they're the same people behind such classics like Fantastic Pinball Kurenai! And of course, the almighty Thunder Force. Lovely. Obviously, in the 5th installment, they decided to use the almighty power of 3D technology to render the graphics. And, oh boy, they're pretty rough looking. But hey, it was the late 90s. If this game wasn't 3-dimensional, then this game automatically sucked! That's what happened to dear old Blast Wind. Anyways, obviously not everything is about the graphics, because what this game does have is very good presentation. Now, okay, it's gonna be weird to gawk about the options screen, but just look at this. Absolutely amazing. It's like you are literally going into the system settings of the ship's navigation system, or as they call it, Reckoning of Fighting Fact Intelligence, or REFI. Look, they even updated the little prompts in the bottom of the screen there. It's really cool! And you know what else is cool? The background. That background is so cool that I made it the background for my PSP. Alright, enough about that shit. Before we talk about the plot of Thunder Force 5, we need to talk about Thunder Force 4. Or Lightning Force, if you're a stupid idiot. I don't even know why the fuck they even called it that. I mean, they released Thunder Force 3 here as well. What the fuck? Oh my goodness! It's cult classic character from one of my videos! The guy.
Hello, Kiwi Brew. Well, it make no sense to talk about Thunder Force 4 for the Sega Genesis instead.
I mean, yeah, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows that! Thunder Force 4 is one of the most graphically impressive games on the Sega Genesis, featuring some of the largest screen-filling boss sprites I've ever seen on a 16-bit console, and a lot of slowdown like it's a Super Nintendo game, but the music is absolutely amazing. There! Now that everyone's up to speed, I get to talk about the ending of this game. So yes, after defeating the Faust, your ship, or as they call it, the Rhinox, speeds out of that explosion, barely making it, while also being completely destroyed. But yeah, after watching the credits, you're left with this ominous looking image. It looks like something is coming towards the carcass of the Rhinox, but who knows what it is? Until Thunder Force 5. Where it is discovered that an AI known as the Guardian has found the Rhinox carcass and has taken it inside for research and development. Thus has led to the creation of an artificial island known as Babel. But one day, the AI has gone rogue and has declared war on the human race. And it's up to you to pilot the RVR-1 gauntlet to stop this menace. And how to get all this plot from this little intro? Well, I didn't. I have the PS1 version. That's right, babes. They also released a PS1 version in 1998. While the main game is basically the same thing, with some slight graphical differences, they also included some new features, such as full motion video cutscenes, and some other neat extras. But first, let's talk about the gameplay. So to start things off, the game actually lets you choose whatever order you want to play the first 3 stages in. You know, Kinda like in Zombie Nation. Yeah. As you can see, the game plays like a traditional 2D side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. The way the controls are set up in this game are a bit weird, but luckily you can change them in the options screen. But yes, just like in the previous game, you start off with the twin shot and the back shot. Well, what can I say about them? They're pretty self-explanatory. The hunter is a homing shot. Pretty useful if you're bombarded with hordes of enemies. Then you got the wave shot. While it's nice to look at, unfortunately it's pretty weak. I mean really weak. Then last but not least, you got the free range chickens. Now this one was something to get used to. At first I didn't really like it. Basically the reticle pivots on the opposite side of where your ship is moving. But whenever you push in the fire button, that's when it locks into position. But oh boy, when you master this weapon, it's very satisfying. In fact, I'd say it's a little bit too satisfying. If you ever find yourself in a tight situation, you can always use the almighty power of the overweapon. Well, as long as you have enough craw power, that is. You can get up to 3 of these glowing orbs. Not only do these things act as bullet sponges, but also they upgrade your weapon. But hey, as long as these things are any color that isn't red, you can always use your overweapon. The game is pretty generous of giving these things out, especially in level 5, where you are greeted to the coolest thing I've ever seen. The Guardian's Knight. Even though the visuals look pretty lackluster in comparison to other games released around this time, at least the bosses do look pretty interesting. They also have some really cool intro animations, such as the majestic deep purple. Look at them go. Beautiful. Easy to remember attack patterns, but do offer a challenge. Heck, even Refi explains the lore behind them. Not something you see pretty often, but it adds to the world building of this game. Oh yeah! I'm not sure if I need to mention this, but have you heard any music recently? Because this shit's fucking amazing. I mean, holy fucking shit. Especially the part where we reach stage 5, where after the Guardian's Knight tries to kill you one last time, I fell for this by the way, there's no turning back. Your ship transforms from the puny-ass RVR-1 Gauntlet into the Vambrits with the Renegade, where you have the most batshit insane firepower. You could even take out these massive ships too. This whole scene is just amazing. It low-key sheds a tear in my eye. And if that's not enough, guess who decides to show up again? The motherfucking Rhinox. Look at it! It's him! He's in my video game! In 3D! Oh, and it's got its own theme song. However, in this case, the Guardian herself is controlling the Rhinox. And like as if the Thunder Sword wasn't enough of an upgrade, Rhinox ends up getting a whole new body. And at some point even turns into an angel. If you're still able to keep the Renegade like I have, then this boss is an absolute cakewalk. Unfortunately, I cannot say that about the final boss, as you don't really keep the Renegade in this scene. However, what you do is teleport yourself into the main fight, where you have to battle it out with such scary things like geometric shapes. Because in this space, everything is shaped according to the Guardian's wishes. That's what it says on the official website, by the way. Including the miracle of childbirth! What, you think I'm joking? No, seriously, this actually happens. The more you shoot this feminine body, the more her belly grows, and eventually, the final boss is born. He's beautiful! And right out of the gate, he's already got a bad posture. And you know what else? He's also a multi-phase boss fight. Luckily, the first part of this fight is pretty easy, especially with the handy-dandy But you see, my problem with this is that there's a lot of shit going on in this fight. This is probably a me thing, but the colors are really bright. It makes it really hard to focus on those projectiles he throws off. And as you fly around trying to avoid his attacks, you don't know what parts actually have collision. Spoilers, by the way, you can fly through his wings. But then on phase 3, shit gets real. Where you see, he brings out the Thunder Sword! And this is the part where I mostly struggle in. If you die in this fight, you don't even get a chance to upgrade your ship. You start where the fight begins. So yeah, make sure not to die throughout the entirety of this game, okay? Regardless of that, it's still very much possible to beat this guy. Look at that. He's really not that hard after all.
Destroy it. If you do not, the tragedy of the steel will be repeated.
What just happened? Did I win, or?
Please, destroy it. Please.
What the heck just happened? Did I make a wrong turn? Well, I think I forgot to tell you guys one crucial detail about this boss. He's on a time limit. You see this little reticle thing that's over here on his head? Yeah, the circle is actually his life bar, and the little ticker thing is the time you have left. And if I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know this thing served something functional, and I thought it was just there to look cool. But yes, it does indeed say that it serves a purpose in the manual. So, what's my advice for when you lose your weapons? Shoot him in the head. And I mean get really close to his head. Besides, after every phase, the game actually rewards you with a craw power, so make sure to use that too. And with that being said, here's what's actually supposed to happen. We narrowly escape the explosion from the Judgment Sword, and then we get this very heartwarming message from the Guardian of all people.
I am cyborg humanity, cyborg animals, cyborg flowers, a cyborg world. And my name is the Guardian.
Alright, look, I know this is going to take forever, but listen, I'm just going to cut to the meat, alright? Even though I probably would listen to it. I mean, this is more convincing than any TED Talk I've ever listened to. So yes, long story short, the Guardian explains to you that the raw power of the Rhinox has caused her to make these destructive weapons, and that the same thing will happen if you keep the Vambrants around. Which would make sense why in the bad ending she's telling you to destroy yourself. So she tells us that the Vambrants should never be accessed ever again. And also this last part.
Soldier, may fortune be with you.
Absolutely beautiful. Oh boy! So that was Thunder Force 5 on the Saturn. Oh yeah, we got the PlayStation version to talk about. Aside from a couple of graphical differences, missing effects, and slowdown in certain scenes, the main game is relatively the same. With of course those lovely, lovely FMV cutscenes. Come on, you gotta love them. They're hot. But wait! There's also a time attack mode, which allows you to challenge yourself to see how long you can defeat the boss. Heck, you can even play as the Renegade in places that you're not supposed to be in. What's that? Is that Comic Sans in my video game? And then we also have the digital viewer. God, that never gets old. Or you can take a look at some of the boss characters, or you can read up on the lore with this giant wall of text. And of course we got this very cool graphic viewer, where it also includes concept sketches for some of the characters, and some really cool looking renders, including this very ominous one featuring the final boss. And of course, the RVR1 Gauntlet model kit. Seriously, what is this? Why is this here? Could this thing actually be a thing in real life? Could you go get one? Well, believe it or not, you can. That is if you lived in Japan back in 2000 or 2001, where if you're able to go into the Technosoft website, you can find such goodies like high-resolution wallpapers, mouse pads, and of course, the almighty Thunder Force 5 Garage Kit. Unfortunately, this legendary item has never been sold in stores, which it can only be obtained via mail order, meaning I can't find it anywhere. So, if you find yourself in this part of the world, then make sure to go to a local hobby shop, and they'll probably tell you that they don't have it, because it's fucking mail order. Are you kidding me, Technosoft? But hey, at least the game itself isn't. So yeah, that was Thunder Force 5. For sure, it's been overshadowed by its predecessor on the Genesis. Just be glad that we were able to witness the ending of the Thunder Force series, especially after Technosoft went kaput in 2001. So unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be another one in the series. But hey, that's fine. This one ended pretty well. I don't see why they need to make a sixth one, right? Because I mean, come on, there's not a Thunder Force 6, right? That'd be kind of weird. Yeah. And then in 2008, Sega released Thunder Force 6 for the